Did you see the thumbnail? Snow capital of Ohio? I wasn't lying. Today's video, we're checking out Chardon. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Living in Cleveland. I'm Patty Salsili, and you know I make videos about all things Northeast Ohio, Northwest Ohio, even down south, and you know the drill. If you don't want to miss any of my videos, hit the subscribe, hit the like, leave some comments. I love them. All right, let's go. It's winter. It's January. It's awful. We are having winter this year, and you know who has the most winter in all of Ohio? Chardon. Yep, Chardon is the snow capital of Ohio. But you know what? There is so much more to Chardon, and in this video, we are going to dive deep. Okay, let's just get started. Where is Chardon? Well, obviously it's in the snow belt, and I've done videos on the snow belt. It's on the east side, a little bit southeast, where that Lake Erie, the wind comes over Lake Erie, bypasses the west side, and hits right down there in that sweet spot called Chardon. So let's just get the snow out of the way. It gets the most snowfall in the entire state of Ohio, and it averages almost 9 feet of snow a year, 107 inches. Can you believe it? Yikes. So if you like snow, that's the place to be. Chardon is also the county seat of Geauga County. So yes, Chardon is in Geauga County, which is just east of Cuyahoga County. So it's east of downtown Cleveland. It's a little bit more rural. I have some big ties to Chardon. My mom and my aunt grew up in that area. They went to Chardon High School. My cousins all went to Chardon schools. My grandparents actually lived in Geauga County. So you know how it is. I've done these videos about those rural towns where there's like one city, but they all say they're from the same city, but they're really in all these little individual townships. Well, growing up, we always said we were going to Chesterland when we were visiting my grandparents, which they're not in Chesterland. They are actually in Munson Township, and they are part of Chardon Schools, which is weird because right around the corner from my grandma lives, still in Munson Township, that street all went to West Geauga schools. So my grandparents' house on Cedar Road, they just went to Chardon schools. So there's that. So because Chardon, the city itself, it's actually small. Only like 5,200 people actually live in the city itself. And I read that it's the only incorporated city in all of Geauga County, which I guess doesn't surprise me because they're all little townships. Like you have Munson Township, you have Newberry, I could keep going, Hamden, you just keep going on and on and on. But just because the city itself is small, that doesn't mean that the school district is small because you have all these little townships. In fact, when I was looking at the tax rates for Chardon, depending on which school district you were part of, you're going to have a different tax rate. Now, they are all below 2%, so that's huge. And like I keep saying, Cuyahoga County have more expensive taxes in the, well into the 2s, even almost 4. But any of the outlying suburbs, you're going to have much lower taxes. So under 2, I think it's like 1.9 if you live in the city of Chardon, your kids go to Chardon schools. And they're all right about there, like, little bits of a percent here or there. So let's just talk about niche.com. What does it think of Chardon? It gives it an A-. In fact, it says it's the third most popular place, the third best place to live in Geauga County after South Russell and Bainbridge. So I guess I need to do videos on those two cities. And I can tell you why. Those two cities are a little bit more wealthier. You have a lot more well-to-do homes. They're sprawling lots, which gives people an opportunity to build those sprawling mansions. Whereas Chardon's been around since the late 1800s. So right in the Chardon Square, and just remember, Chardon, the city itself, only 5,200 people. It's smaller. Okay. One thing that Chardon is known for, and all of Geauga County is known for, is their parks and recreation. And if you go on TripAdvisor and you're like, whoa, what can we do in Chardon, Ohio? All it's going to tell you is parks to go to. And do it. They're beautiful. In fact, you look at Geauga County and the Rookery comes up, and that literally is at the end of my grandparents' street on Cedar Road. Beautiful, beautiful. Just beautiful parks. Just walk around there. Absolutely gorgeous. Chardon is also famous for maple syrup. And every year they have what's called the Maple Festival. And I have fond memories of going to the Maple Festival. They have rides, and it's in spring. It's like in April, so you don't know. I remember going and it was like snowing, but I also remember going and it was warm, because April, you just never know in Ohio. But they have rides and they have a parade. And then, what I really remember about the Maple Festival, hello, is the maple, not even syrup. They make these little candies like in the shape of a maple leaf. But what the best thing is, because it's usually pretty chilly, is the maple stirs. They put them in these little white styrofoam bowls, and then you get like a tongue depressor, and they melt this mapley, wow, it's thick and gooey. I think I have a picture of it up here. And you just put the little tongue depressor in, you put this hot maple sugary stuff in your mouth, and it is to die for. Of course, they have a pancake breakfast with all the maple syrup. So the Maple Festival I always think of when I think of Chardon. But also, it's just a really great place to live. And I don't know if you're, it got a little famous several years ago. There was a big shooting there in the school, but you know what? Those Hilltoppers, that's what Chardon's, their school mascot, whatever their name is, they're the Hilltoppers. They all came together, and, they're very proud of who they are. I remember when that happened, my mom was just like, she was sporting everything Chardon, because, that was her alma mater. Yeah, it was quite a big deal. So Chardon, just a great tight community. People who grew up there tend to stay there. My aunt, well, she lives in Thompson, which isn't far away, but she still goes, and it's real close to the Geauga County Fair. My aunt, which is in Burton, and I need to do a Burton video. But she still goes, camps for the whole week, absolutely loves it. So it's just one of those family towns, if you think of that. Okay, let's talk about homes. What kind of a house are you going to get in Chardon? Well, if you're in the actual city square, you're going to get an older home. In fact, I was showing a house. I have a picture of it here. It's a historic home. It was built in 1901. In fact, we were looking at, there's still pictures of the original owners on the front porch they have in the dining room, which is so cool. And obviously the house needs a lot of work, but it has all of the beautiful woodwork. They did not touch any of that. All around the windows, the banister, absolutely gorgeous on this beautiful piece of property. And the best part, you walk out the front door, take a left, 4 houses down, you're in Chardon Square. How awesome is that? Chardon Square has restaurants, little shops, coffee shops, really cool places to just hang out. Plus, it's all surrounded by the square where there's a gazebo. And like I said, that's where the festival is. Can you imagine just walking out, going down the street, and you're at the Maple Festival? How cool is that? Okay, so let's talk about home prices. Okay, the average home price in Chardon is right around $300,000. And today, January 22nd, 23rd, I don't even know, there are currently 26 properties for sale, single family residences. 26, which is actually kind of a lot. If you think about it, being that there's only 5,200 people that live in the entire city of Chardon, to have 26 properties for sale. Now, I want you to look at this little graph I have here. I just pulled this up, and this is like over the last year of like median home prices compared to the median days on market, which you really want to look at that. And look how it goes up and down. And I don't know, I'm going to point to it like July of 23. Hot time, right? People are buying houses. They want to get in those homes before. Now remember, that's after they sold. So we don't get that data till the house is transferred. And we have that data, how much it went for, all that stuff. So think about it. If a house was sold in July and the title transferred in July, it was probably under contract end of May, beginning of June. So that's when the real hot market is. So look at the July 2023. Look how low the days on market is. And then look how high the price point was at that point. Which is kind of interesting. It went up higher than 300,000. But you can see that median line there is right around 300, up and down. But right away, there's right 300 is the average home price. And then the average days on market is between 20 and 40. So about 30 days on the market, which really isn't that bad. Although when you go through the MLS, there are some properties that have been on the market for almost a year. Why is that? Well, one of them is a $1.8 million property, and I have a picture of it. It's on like 103 acres. It's got its own banquet center. Like, a business should buy it. Like, of course that's going to take the right kind of buyer. So yeah, that's been on the market, I think, 278 days. But there's a reason for that, and historically and all over, and probably the whole country, homes that are in that luxury price point always take a bit longer to sell because we're not all millionaires. All right, so that being said, I love Chardon. Pretty much spent a lot of time as a kid visiting my grandparents. You know, I always felt like Chardon and the Chesterland, that whole area is just a part of who I am, just because my mom grew up out there, my aunt, you know, and, you know, my grandparents lived out there till I had to sell. It was one of the first homes I ever sold when I got my license, not too long ago. It was very emotional for me because I thought that house, I mean, ever since I was born, that's all I knew was that big property out there in Munson Township on Cedar Road. I have a picture of it up here for you. It just meant a lot. It was a very special place to me. It was very emotional to have to sell it. You know, my brother and my cousins were all like, one of us has to buy this. How can we let this leave our family? But, you know, at the end of the day, it needed a ton of work, and none of us were in a position to, I couldn't uproot my kids. We were West Siders, my brother the same way. It was just, you know, heartbreaking. But a nice young family has it. I actually sold it to them, and they've done wonders with it. I need to get in there and see what they've done to it. But I love Chardon. I think you should check it out. If you want something a little bit different, you know what, it's not that far. I live all the way out in Amherst, Lorraine area, and I've been driven out there twice now to show this property, and it takes me less than an hour. And so it's not that bad. I thought it would be bad because you have to get off the highway and drive down, kind of like Medina. You have to get off the highway, go Route 18 forever. It's actually not that bad. I think you go Route 44 or something like that. It really wasn't that bad. And so it's worth it. So if you're looking for a place you get away from the city, but yet you're only like 35 miles away from downtown Cleveland, I think you might want to check out Chardon. So I hope you enjoy Chardon, and you know, all my info's down below if you're looking to move to the Cleveland area. I know the west side, I know the east side, and I know down south. Give me a call and enjoy Chardon.